It's Powerback time on the Gutsy Podcast, your 20-minute boost to reclaim and refocus your energy. Get ready to have bursts of clarity, a boost of confidence, and the practical steps you need to make gutsy moves forward. You've got big things to do, so let's get your power back. When we think about making the bold move or going for it, we often think about the big stuff: changing jobs, starting a business, going back to school, filing for divorce, starting to write your book, or tackling the freaking basement. And while those are often the big results that we're working towards, the way that we achieve them are through the small decisions and actions we make on a daily basis. But that creative brain of yours, it wants to tell you that this isn't enough. This isn't going fast enough. I can't see the finish line. I want to have it all done today. Then we do nothing. We go back to wishing and waiting, and the cycle continues. On today's Powerback episode, I'm going to share a handful of small move stories from the women inside my communities that have proven why the small moves matter. If you're tired of talking about it and you're ready to do the damn thing, this episode is for you. Tell me if this resonates with you. You get an idea or have clarification on something that you want to do. I'm going to use a generalized topic here of maybe cleaning out and organizing the garage. We're going to use this as a metaphor for whatever the change or the shift or the thing that you're ready to do or try to go after. Whatever that is, we're going to use the garage as a metaphor. You pull up in your driveway, you open up the door, and you just see all of it, right? Like in that moment, you can see the disorganization, you can see the half-finished projects, you can see the fucking Christmas decorations that are still sitting there. We don't even need to acknowledge how many Amazon boxes are in the corner that need broken down, right? Okay, it's a hot mess. And in that moment, as you're sitting in your driveway, your car's off, and you're just looking at it, you say to yourself, it's time to clean out the garage. Now, on this particular day, you're feeling pretty good about yourself. You've got a little extra energy. You slept really good last night. You're feeling optimistic. You're in the part of your cycle where like everything is pretty good. And you feel optimistic. You're like, yeah, I'm going to do this thing. And you really start thinking about it and strategizing and wondering how you might make these shifts. And maybe, just maybe, on your way through into the house, you grab something that's been sitting there and you put it away. Or you break down a box that's been just where everyone is stepping. You go in the house, life starts lifing. Before you know it, a couple of hours have gone by, a few days have gone by. You start thinking about this project again. You start looking at stuff, and all of a sudden, what felt like a really great idea, like, you know what, I'm ready to do this. I'm enthusiastic about it. All of a sudden, that thing looks like Mount fucking Everest. There's too many pieces, and I don't know where this thing goes, and how am I going to get through all of this stuff? And I don't even know if I can do this by myself. I don't have a lot of extra time right now. I want to make movements, but if I can't do it all this weekend, then you know what? I'm just not even going to mess with it. The bigness of this project has overtaken your ambition. What once felt like a great idea, something that you could do, something you were excited about, now feels daunting. It feels heavy. It feels like one more thing. And so what is the easiest thing to do in this case? Well, fucking leave it alone, of course. We're going to avoid cleaning out the garage. We're going to continue to pull up to the house every day, frustrated because we can't get the car in the garage. We're going to open up the door. We're going to look at it. We're going to huff and puff about it. We're going to kick a box out of the way on the way into the door. And we're going to do that again for the next 3 to 9 months. Or, of course, until you get another spark of inspiration and we do this cycle over again. Sound familiar? I mean, maybe this is your actual garage, but maybe this is how you're feeling about the job change that you've been talking about the business that you're ready to start or expand, about going back to school or wanting to write a book or start a new hobby. Maybe this is how it feels about the conversation that you know it's time to have with your spouse or your best friend or your freaking neighbor. Those bigger shifts, the outcome that you're looking for, the result that ultimately you're working towards, rarely start with big ass changes. I'm not saying that's impossible. Sometimes we do just go like 1 to 100. But more often than not, I would say the majority of the time, That bigger thing happens because of the smaller moves you were willing to make. Some might call it baby steps. Some might call it focused work. It doesn't matter what we call it. The idea here is we've got to take some kind of step. We've got to take an action. But what happens in your brain is you want to downplay that these small moves, the one next steps, the simple movements are not enough. It's like, oh, this is going to take me forever, or that's not going to get me anywhere anytime fast. You want the satisfaction of things being done. Like if I can't do it all today, then I can't do any of it. Maybe it feels insignificant. Maybe it doesn't feel like it's giving you enough momentum. Now, I do want to pause with this for a second because I think that there is something valuable here to pause. If these are thoughts that are reoccurring, if this is really a feeling that you're having, sitting with this long enough, pausing with this and getting curious about like, is there any truth in this? Sometimes there are projects, smaller things that are kind of chunky bits that I don't want to start unless I can finish. For example, when I write content, I don't like to go into writing content. What I mean by that is recording TikTok videos or scheduling social media posts, recording these podcasts for you. I don't like to go into those tasks unless I know that I can finish them. And that's primarily because once I go into those things, it's like a deeper level energetic stance that I'm in. And when I go in, I want to stay in until I'm ready to come out. Does that always work out perfectly? I mean, life is life. No. But I know for myself and the way that I work best, the way that I am most efficient, this is one of those tasks that I want to stay focused on. I want to start and I want to complete it. That's a very different conversation than saying, I want to write a book, but that's a big project and I don't know where to start. And if I can't do it all in 6 weeks, then I can't do it at all. So therefore, I'm just not going to. And what's fueling that? Because I feel like that's not fast enough, because I'm going to feel behind on things, because I want it all done now. It's testing my patience here. So anytime that this story is playing in your mind, I want you to just sit with it for a second and say, okay, is there any truth to this? Is there anything that I need to evaluate about the way that I work? What's efficient for me? What helps me energetically? Or am I making shit up? Am I making shit up? If we come back to the garage metaphor, is it really true that we have to have it all done this weekend? No. Would that feel nice? Sure. I love a good start and end of a project, don't get me wrong. But when we're looking at something that is bigger, something that has a lot of pieces, something that has things that need to be figured out, decisions that we have to make, we have to allow ourselves time. And we have to give ourselves the ability to create momentum. That big shit, it doesn't just accidentally happen. It only happens when you take action towards it. Now, here's where people get tripped up, okay? It's because we have to do it all, right? We have to figure everything out. We have to make all the decisions. Now we've got all this big ass project and all these moving pieces, and I don't know how I'm going to do it, and I'm already tired before I begin. This is where the interruption is, okay? That big shit only happens through the small shit. And while I know you'd love to have it all figured out and have it done today, the most realistic way for you to achieve that goal, to make that move, is to begin. And the way we begin is first, get very clear about what it is that you want. And second, take one next step towards it. Real change, sustainable change, by the way, happens in the small moments. They add up. They create momentum, they get things moving, and ultimately, that's what gets things done. The best way for me to show you proof of this is to share a few stories from the women inside either the Gutsy Collective or Auraline, which is my mastermind. These are real stories of real women making the small moves and ultimately achieving their goals along the way. The first one is actually quite similar to our garage story. It's a gal in the Gutsy Collective that has been wanting to clean out her basement. It's felt daunting. There's things all over the place. The organization is not there. She's not sure how to find things. It's just been a thorn in her side forever. But it's been a big project. And you know what? One of her bigger focuses, one of her bigger goals is to reclaim her life, her energy, and her space. And so how do we do that when this basement project feels enormous? She has been focusing on going through one bin at a time. I know that might feel like a snail's pace, but you know what? It's happening. It's working. She just uploaded photos the other day inside the Gutsy Collective of her taking items, bags and bags of items to the donation center in her community. She's let go and released this idea that she has to have the whole basement done and perfected in the next 3 days. Instead, she's working with her energy, she's working with her schedule, and it's happening. It's no longer this huge ass project. Now she's starting to get pockets and sections and shelves where things are clean, things are organized. The stuff that she doesn't need anymore is out of her house. And this has given her so much confidence. I mean, she's just like, yeah, I'm doing this. I'm really doing this. This is something that I've been thinking about for years. The bigger goal to reclaim her energy and her space is happening through her willingness to clean out one bin at a time. And you know what? Sometimes that one bin leads to a second or a third one. And that's okay because she's created momentum and she's in the energy. But if the one bin is all she's got today, she knows that she's achieved something towards the bigger goal. Another woman inside the Gutsy Collective is gearing up to file for divorce. Certainly, this is not something that she wished for, but we're at the stage and it's time. This brings up all kinds of questions, a ton of change. How can I do this on my own? What are my next steps? And it can be really debilitating to know, like, what does life look like after this? A lot of women stay, by the way, because it feels safer to be within that relationship than it does to be independent of it. There's also just a ton of questions. How long does this take? What is the process like? Who do I talk to? Where do I even begin? By the way, in any and all of my programs, we take things at a pace that feels good for you. Okay, if you are ready to run and do the thing, we run and do the thing. If you are needing to walk, to pause, to reflect, and to also be kind of challenged to keep things moving along, we do that as well. No matter the speed or the size of this shift, everything always happens in the exact time that it's supposed to. And for this gal, it's time to arm herself with information. And so the gutsy move that she made this past week was reaching out to friends and family, asking for information about apartments. The goal here is to find out what's available, what's on the market. She has been a shared homeowner for a long time, so this is a new step for her. And honestly, to see what is the pricing like these days. Does this mean that she needs to go look at an apartment? No. Does it mean that she needs to sign a contract today? No. What it's giving her, though, is information. It's giving her knowledge. It's giving her things to work with. A lot of the hesitation with making a move is because we feel kind of in the dark. We don't have the information to make the decision that we need to make for ourselves. And what looks like a small move on the outside is actually an enormous step forward, because now she's gathering details and information so that she can make an educated decision when it is time. Another gal inside the Gutsy Collective has been working on just making her space, her home, truly uniquely her own. She's had quite a few unfinished projects, and in this last month, she's been really focusing on finishing things. The small moves that she's been focusing on, hanging artwork on the wall. And again, it's one of those things where, like, does that really matter? Is that part of the bigger shift? Is that really going to impact my life? And to that I say, abso-fucking-lutely. Now, instead of walking around the artwork that's been sitting on the floor, she looks at it hanging on the wall. Instead of beating herself up for all these unfinished projects, she's looking at all the really unique things that she has chosen for herself. The tab that has been open and running in the back of her mind, thinking about, I need to do, is closed because it is done. Her space now feels a little extra more like her own. In Auraline, which is my mastermind, we go deeper. You get some one-on-one support from me. There's a gal who is just really at the beginning of a career shift. She so deeply wants to know what the answer is, but has also released to say, you know what? I don't have to have that answer yet. I know that where I'm at right now is no longer it, and I'm willing to find out what is. Her office has been a compilation of all of her achievements, including paperwork all the way back to college. And she shared with me that she's had a handful of binders, big, thick binders from notes from college. And somehow those binders are proof that what she did mattered. She kept and stored these binders for 20 years as proof that she did something. Through the work that we've been doing together, she's been able to release all of these expectations, all of these preconceived notions that she should have it all figured out by now. These binders really became a weight, anchoring her in time. And the small but incredibly powerful move that she made this week, she threw away the binders. She released the idea that her identity could only be found in the proof of these binders. She's opened up energetic and physical space for what is intended to come in, to have space to come in now. She's not looking to the past and what could have been and should have been. Instead, she's saying, no more. Today, I'm choosing what will be, who I am today. I'm getting to know myself on a deeper level, and that's the direction that we're going to go in. The answer for where she wants to go in her career now has the space to come in. She is one step closer to gaining that clarity because she has released the past. Another woman inside of Ourline is learning how to reprioritize herself. She's been everything to everyone her entire existence. She's been the responsible one, the one that makes sure that everything is taken care of, that the T's are crossed and the I's are dotted and everyone has what they need. She's gotten unintentionally comfortable taking what's left. By the way, this is a pretty true story for almost every single woman that joins any of my programs. And I would say 90% of them also happen to be eldest daughters. One of the things that we are focusing on for her inside of Ourline is prioritizing herself, taking her business to the next level, getting herself out of the weeds of doing so many things and feeling so completely drained. She's planning a trip out of the country in 2026, and she's had this hesitant point of booking the flights. There's this resistance in booking the flights because why? Because that's putting her at the front of the line. That is opening up the expansion. That is saying, you know what, I'm going to do something for me and everything and everyone else going to figure it out for themselves. It feels uncomfortable at first. It's that spot where you keep bumping right up against it, right? You know you're at that change. You know that it's time, but that's when your brain gets involved. And that's why being in community is so incredibly powerful. Because you know what move she made this week? She booked the damn flights. And she is gleaning. Her energy is open. She's smiling ear to ear. She's excited because this is a trip that she's been wanting to do. And now that she's made that move, now she can move on to the next one piece. And better yet, she can do it with excitement because she's taken that exhale, that what felt huge in her mind and in her body is now gone. It's done. It's complete. And so she's got this open road to plan the rest of this trip. Anyone can argue that these are quote unquote small moves. But when you hear the stories attached to it, when you see these things in motion, when you see the results that these women are starting to have, do you consider these small moves? Are they not enough? Are they insignificant? Are they happening too slowly? You're probably thinking, no, no, it's just working. It's things moving forward. And so today I want you to take the stories of these women, which by the way, are just a handful of stories. I mean, these are the types of moves that are happening on a daily and weekly basis inside of my communities. I invite you to really, truly hear their stories, see what this is shifting for them, and apply this to your own life. Why are we talking to ourselves as if we are less? Why are you beating yourself up for something that you would praise someone else for? The small moves that you make are what create the bigger change that you are craving. These small moves that you just heard within these stories, and that I know you've already made in your own life, they create momentum. It gets shit going. It arms you with information so that you can make decisions. It creates energetic and physical capacity for new things to come in. It creates and builds on your clarity. It builds your confidence every step of the way. And ultimately, it's these small moves that have you pulling up to your house, opening the garage door, and looking into your garage, knowing, I did that. It's so clean. It's so organized. I know where to find my shit. Nothing's in the way anymore. I'm not thinking about this every day. Instead, I can walk into my house smiling, happy, knowing that it is done. Here's your final takeaway, my friend. First, I want you to get very, very, very clear about what it is that you've either been putting off and avoiding or been wanting to do. Maybe it's a combination of the two. Clarity is direction. And when we have a direction, we have a North Star. We know where to focus our time, our money, our energy, our resources. This is where we can start moving. But if you don't answer that question, you're going to keep doing a bunch of stuff that gets you nowhere. So 1, what is the thing that you've either been putting off and avoiding and been wanting to do? Second, what is one small move you can make towards this today? Not tomorrow, not next week, not by the end of the year, today. Making one phone call, answering 3 emails, setting a timer for 30 minutes and doing the research that you need, clearing off one shelf in the fridge, updating your resume, updating your LinkedIn page, filing for the LLC and the paperwork that you've had on your desktop for 3 years. I don't care what the thing is. I just want you to choose one step and take it. No more excuses. No more waiting for the right time. It's time to move. And through this, I just want you to observe. Observe how you feel. Like, okay, I'm not doing the whole thing, but I did something towards it. Does that give me a little bit of pride, a little bit of joy, a little bit of hope, a little bit of like, you know what, maybe this is actually possible? That's the energy that fuels you doing the bigger thing. This is why the small moves matter. If you have been craving support, community, someone to help hold you accountable as you are making these changes, then I would encourage you to book a clarity session with me. Both of my communities are focused on making the move. And if you're not sure where to start, or you just want to get a little clarification of which program is right for you, we can figure out all those things together on a clarity session. So you can go to lauraora.com/clarity, or if you just do a little scroll down in the show notes, there should be a link below on this episode. Every single thing that I have today, everything that my clients have today, are the result of their willingness to make the small moves. And you want to know something super cool? We could be a few weeks or a few months from you being able to say, I did it. It's time to book the call, my friend. lauraora.com/clarity. You can also come connect with me on social media. My handle is @thatlauraora. And as always, until I see you next time, stay gutsy.